GM everyone, we have a great guest here for this week's Chainlink Q&A. We have Jerry here, the CMO of Zecrey. Jerry, great to have you. Welcome.
Yeah, it's really good to be here, Harris.
Awesome, Jerry. We're just curious, where are you dialing in from today?
So currently I'm in China, dialing in from Shanghai,
Very
and exciting times for us, really.
awesome, man. Awesome. Well, great to have you. Appreciate your flexibility with the timing here. Um, for
Yeah.
the audience more broadly, just curious, tell us about Zecrey. What inspired your project and what are y'all building?
Okay, so Zecrey is a Zecrey is a privacy-based, scalable asset aggregation network that aims to bring convenience to current Web3 users, and we want to be as easy stepping stone for Web2 users. Now, the user interface is wallet-based, and the differentiating factor for Zecrey is the cross-chain support that it brings. So you can view and play around with virtually all of your digital assets in one place, whether it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, uh, Binance, Solana, Polygon, Avalanche, and even non-EVM chains like Near. So on top of that, there's a high level of privacy for user transactions, along with low fees and almost instant transactions in many cases on our layer 2 network. This is thanks to the use of our iteration of ZK Rollup for our scaling and privacy solution. So the team at Zecrey has been in touch with blockchain for many years, and some of us at the team work for Google, and we have the good fortune of having advisors who's worked for Goldman Sachs advising us. And we noticed that while a lot of the individual features are available across different projects in the crypto industry, we couldn't find anything that aggregates a lot of common use cases in an easy to use interface. Things like staking, swaps, transferring different coins from different blockchains, and curating NFT collections has to be done in different apps. Not to mention there's issues with existing methods, partially due to a lack of privacy. I'll give you an example.
Hmm.
So right now, when you make transactions, because it is public, certain mining groups can manipulate the order that transactions are validated on the blocks that they mine. So they can profit from your transactions at your expense. It's commonly known as MEV, or miner extractable value. But this is eliminated when you conduct transactions on Zecrey's Layer 2 network because of the privacy features and the fact that we have a FIFO order book where it's first in, first out. So we decided to put all of these commonly used features in one place where we think it will really improve the user experience in the blockchain space, and that will result in greater adoption of this great technology.
Yeah, man, super cool. I think you mentioned an interesting piece of technology in your description there around ZK rollups. Would you mind expanding a little bit for the audience who might not be super familiar with this innovation? What ZK rollups are and how you guys are leveraging them?
So what ZK Rollup is, it's an established protocol. It's a smart contract deployed on the main net of a blockchain, for example, Ethereum. So what it does, it rolls up a bundle of transactions and it executes the calculation off chain, and then it generates the proof and bundle them back into a single transaction to be sent back to the main network, which is why you have faster speeds and a lower cost. Now, each of these off-chain transactions prove the validity of the transactions while not showing the exact transaction, which is why it's called zero knowledge.
Mm.
So I want to emphasize that Zecrey is a layer 2 solution, and the security is rooted or based on the original blockchain. So we don't have permission to access or control the user's assets, even when they, deposit into our layer 2 protocol.
Right.
We're simply creating wrapped tokens.
Very cool. And to build off of that piece, can you touch briefly on how Chainlink at all fits into this picture that you just described here?
So we integrate Chainlink's price feeds into our wallet to help calculate the total asset value.
Mm.
The integration of Chainlink also help us secure prices when we do swaps in our automatic market making decentralized exchange feature. The scope and reliability of Chainlink means that we can also rely on it to help calculate the APR, which is the annual return, when users lock assets in Zecrey's contracts for staking and whatnot. While the current version of Zecrey has limited functionalities when it comes to NFT curation, we're working hard on to make NFT an important part of Zecrey. So we'll be looking to make good use of additional Chainlink services like Chainlink VRF and Chainlink Keepers, which will further enhance the user experience in our layer 2 network. So thank you, Chainlink, for making this possible.
Yeah, Jerry, man, I appreciate it, man. And what you guys are working on is super interesting. I mean, the grandness of vision, as you're describing it across a lot of different assets within Web3 is fascinating. And just, I'm curious if you don't mind expanding a little bit on how you see cross-chain interoperability playing out, and why is there such a great focus around this from Zecrey's point of view?
Well, the reason that cross-chain interoperability is such a big part of what Zecrey offers is that we believe, as you probably do as well, is imperative for a healthy ecosystem in the cryptocurrency world. So imagine a world where you can only use your local currency or US dollars, but certain services only accept other currencies. And imagine if you have to pick between Ethereum or Binance. People shouldn't have to make that choice, and monopolies are bad in general. Maybe except for the board game. Also, the fact that not a single blockchain is completely dominating the industry, and that is because they all have their strengths and weaknesses. And considering developers for specific and certain apps are taking advantage of specific blockchains and creating value for everyone in the space, it's a real shame if the community miss out on a great app because different blockchains cannot interact with each other.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm making some assumptions here, but in terms of the importance of creating products that are multi-chain, is it the accessibility to you, or is it something else, or maybe other multifaceted pieces to, this whole open source environment that we're operating in?
Well, even Vitalik said himself, right? The future will be multi-chain, where multiple chains coexist. Like I touched on earlier, each chain has their own characteristics, whether it is scalability, new consensus for GameFi in the metaverse, lower fees, or a strong ecosystem and branding. So what is one of the first things that you need when you want to interact with a blockchain? A wallet, right?
Right.
So without a wallet that supports multiple blockchains, you will need a different wallet each time. And again, that's not a good user experience, and it's an additional barrier of entry in something that's already quite cutting edge and complex to new users. Now, imagine if you finally convince your mom or dad to try an app on the blockchain, and you guide them through setting up their wallet. Then you have to tell them you have to set up another wallet with another set of secret phrases to use this other app on a different blockchain. So good luck with that. So then making things simple and easy for new users to enter the blockchain space is something that we really hope Zecrey will become a major contributing factor.
Yeah, man, absolutely. I think the user experience is something that I'm personally excited about seeing improve in the years to come, maybe even the months to come. The industry moves super quick, but I'm curious to get your point of view, Jerry. What excites you about what's next for DeFi or maybe even Web3 more broadly? I know you're mentioning NFTs and other pieces before, but I guess how do you see it playing out?
Well, the thing is, right, so being in the blockchain industry myself, right, so to be honest, I don't use as many Web3 products as I would like, because even for me, I find that I still revert to most of the Web2 products when it comes to my everyday service, simply because it's just so much more convenient, right? So I'm really looking forward to the different ways that projects, they start to integrate Web3 into Web2 and vice versa. I think the secret sauce is for projects to use Web2 features where appropriate and Web3 features when it makes sense, so that we don't use Web3 purely for the sake of being Web3. It's all about what brings the most value for the end user. I think a lot of projects are heading in this direction where they might put the Web3 component behind the scene and the user interface retain a lot of the familiar features from Web2 products. This really helps easing new users into the space. And I believe for blockchain to become really mainstream, it needs a lot more users. A really important component for that to happen is to, like I've rehashed many times, to make things convenient. So that's why Zecrey support a social logging feature where you can use Google, Twitter, and Facebook to complete your account generation. Now, we split the key into 3 shares, the social login share, the local device, and then the recovery share. And then you need 2 out of the 3 to recover the private key in worst case scenarios. That way you get the convenience of Web 2 while retaining most of the security of Web 3.
Very nice. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you guys have a great focus around the user experience. As people come into the world of Web3. So I know you mentioned a few things that's in the pipeline a little bit in terms of how you guys plan to use some more Chainlink products or features around VRF and keepers. But curious, in the terms of the pipeline for Zecrey in the coming months or even the year, will the experience still be at the forefront, or will there be even more for people to look forward to? I don't know, too much alpha, but curious to get your take of what you see coming out.
The testnet for Zecrey has been up and running for the past few months, and thanks to everyone's feedback, we were able to release the mainnet for Zecrey's layer 1 with limited support for NFTs that's being minted and given away to the community by Zecrey. We're currently waiting on Certic to finalize the auditing process for our layer 2 coding, so we can expect to launch all of our layer 2 features next month. In addition, we are developing a mobile app for Zecrey, so we are expecting to have a pilot version later this month. And last but not least, we will be launching our next series of NFTs and additional support for NFTs made possible by Chainlink's VRF support. So that will be in May this year. And also later this year, we'll be working on our app chain to integrate and support games and social blockchain apps. When layer 2 is released, we'll be looking at utilizing Chainlink's keepers to help with the automatic distribution of rewards from staking and farming in layer 2. And I'd like to take this opportunity to remind everyone that, so currently the testnet is up and running for both layer 1 and layer 2, but for people who's trying out the mainnet where only layer 1 is online, keep in mind the transfer speed and transaction fees are based on what the layer 1 blockchain charges, whether it's Ethereum, Binance, Polygon, etc. So you get a lot of the layer 2 speed and cost saving when you get onto layer 2, and that will be sometimes next month.
Very, very cool. And if people were curious, Jerry, like where else can they find or learn more about what you and the team are working on?
So you can always visit our website on zecrey.com, where you can check out some of our articles and download the wallet extension. We also have our white paper there. So for people who are really tech savvy and you want to dig into how everything works in Zecrey, you're more than welcome to look into that. Our Twitter handle is Zecrey Protocol. We also have a Discord and Telegram community. So everyone is very much welcome to join us there. If it's not too much trouble, perhaps our lovely host, Harris, can help put a link with some of these communities in the description below. And maybe we can take this opportunity to we can show you, do a quick demo. We can let everyone see kind of what the interface is like for Zecrey, and we'll make some simple transactions on the testnet. All right, so guys, as you can see, this is the main website, and I have downloaded the Zecrey wallet extension from the Chrome Web Store. So we just open up here. This is the main interface, and as you can see, you can view all of your assets in one place from the various chains, everything from Ethereum to Near. And I'm going to go through, for layer 1, I'll go through the transfer feature where you just transfer tokens to anyone in the world. Deposit is when you deposit your token from layer 1 to layer 2 to enjoy a lot of the additional features like faster transactions, lower fees, staking and liquidity provision, swaps, all that good stuff. And then we have lock. Give me 1 moment. Okay. My apologies. So I'm heading over to the testnet because, like I mentioned earlier, with the mainnet, only layer 1's available. So on the testnet, I can show you the full spectrum of the features. So over here, as you can see the assets. And the view that I like to use is if you click here, you can look at all of your assets by tokens. That way, in one glance, you can see the different tokens that you have on your account. I'll just swap to one of my other accounts. There you go. You can see all your different tokens. And if you want to make a transfer, click on transfer, select what you would like to transfer. Let's say we want to transfer some Ray tokens to our friend. Because I've transferred to someone to this account before, so we're going to transfer to, say, this account, and we'll put in 1,000 Ray tokens. Confirm your transfer fee, hit transfer, confirm, and based on the speed of the layer 1 blockchain, that should take anywhere from a few seconds to a couple of minutes to finish. And you also have the option of locking your asset. So if I go to lock and I decide to lock, let's mix things up a little. Let's try locking up some NEAR tokens. So if I want to lock up 100 of my NEAR tokens to get some APR, so we'll lock it up on the Ethereum blockchain. Okay, let me just go back on that. Let's try out Binance. Let's try USDT. So with USDT, I want to lock $5 as an investment and get some returns. Click on lock, confirm, and voila. So that's locked onto layer 2 to help provide liquidity, and you can unlock it at any time, which I will show you later. Over here, you have NFT. These are the NFTs that I have on my account. Say if I want, currently, it's quite basic, so I can select one of the NFTs and use it as my avatar. But later this month, early next month, once we release the new batch of features, you'll be able to use NFTs from your other blockchains. And here you have deposit. So that's where you deposit your tokens from layer 1 to layer 2. So if I want to deposit 2,000 Ray tokens to layer 2, that's done. And at the bottom right, this is where you can swap to layer 2 of the Zecrey protocol. So we'll go here. This is the layer 2 interface. And here is really similar. So with layer 2, you can see that you can transfer between other layer 2 accounts, and you can conduct swaps. So if you want to change some Bitcoin into Ethereum, you can do that. And unlocking is where earlier we locked some USDT.
Right.
Here, we can unlock it. And withdrawing is when you move the asset from layer 2, if you want to withdraw it back to layer 1. Quickly show, we transfer, say if we want to transfer some Polygon Matic. And the other thing is over here, with the accounts on Zecrey's layer 2, it doesn't have to be a string of public keys. You can name your account according to something, anything that you like. For example, mine's called GemJSY. And say I know someone who's called Jason. His account is jason.zecrey. And I want to transfer some Matic to my friend. I type in his name, put in the amount that I like to transfer. And also, I can make more than one transfer at the same time as well.
Nice.
But in this case, I'm missing. We need to leave a little bit for the transactions. So say if we want to transfer 1, and it's loading. So this is just providing the proof for the transaction, and we hit confirm. And then we are done. So it's done with the transaction. If I want to make some swaps, say if I want to change some Ray token to, let's say I want to change 2 Ray token into USDT. Confirm the transaction amount. And we hit swap. Confirm. And there you go. We've swapped some Ray tokens into USDT. Lastly, just want to quickly show you for liquidity, that's where you can add liquidity for staking as well for a return. So if say you want to stake some Ray token and Ethereum pairs, you can add liquidity here as well. Hit confirm, and you've done some liquidity staking.
Very nice.
And yeah, and that is Zecrey for now. So that's the features that we've rolled out on the testnet. With the layer 2 functions that you saw towards the later half, that will come out next month once auditing is done.
Awesome, Jerry. Really appreciate the demo as well. Very intuitive, easy to follow, and I'm sure the audience is keen to learn a little bit more. You already provided where the users can find you, and if you look a little bit below our faces here in the description, I'll have all of the links as well. So, Jerry, thanks so much, man, for hopping in and giving us a rundown on what you and the team are working on.
No, thanks for having us, Harris. It's been a pleasure.
Awesome. Have a great day, Jerry. Take care.
Yeah, you too. Bye.